it's entirely coincidental, but I just happened to be in the United States as the Joe Biden White House melted down after his catastrophic debate performance the other night. And ever since then, I and many others have been left with a million questions. The biggest one being, if Joe Biden is too incompetent and is incapacitated and isn't running the country, then just who the hell is?
As long as I gave it my all and I did the goodest job as I know I can do, that's what this is about.
The goodest job. Yes, he did goodest for you, Mr. President. And by the way, you need to contrast how Joe Biden was at that debate to how he sounded just 4 years ago.
Nobody making less than $400,000 will pay a penny more in tax under my proposal.
That's a promise.
That's a guarantee, a promise. I give you my word as a Biden. That's an absolute guarantee.
And you think it's a good idea to raise taxes when the economy's in dire straits?
Depending who you're raising them on. Look, if you're raising somebody who's making $1 billion a year, it's not a problem if they pay 39.6%, which everybody should pay, raise another $90 billion.
Now, whatever you think about taking somebody's word as a Biden, oh boy, you simply cannot tell me that something has not happened to that man over the past 4 years. Anyway, now as we know, the Democrats are attempting the ultimate cleanup on Aisle Joe, a cleanup operation the size of Chernobyl to salvage their hold on power with, for the moment at least, this guy at the helm. As part of this program, Joe Biden sat down on Friday for a pre-recorded, heavily edited interview with none other than George Stephanopoulos to prove that he was indeed of sound mind and body. George Stephanopoulos, by the way, for those of us with long memories, was the guy who, as a young staffer on the 1992 Bill Clinton campaign, helped clean up what were then colloquially known as bimbo eruptions. Charming. So I think we know why he was chosen for this gig. Anyway, let's see how it all went down, shall we? Among other things, Joe Biden was unable to remember if he even watched a replay of his disastrous debate with Donald Trump.
Did you ever watch the debate afterwards?
I don't think I did, no.
Well, what I want to get at is, what were you experiencing as you were going through the debate? Did you know how badly it was going?
Yeah, look.
And he declared that he was otherwise fine. The slack-jawed, glassy-eyed performance was just the result of a cold and bad preparation.
You and your team have said you had a bad night, but your friend Nancy Pelosi actually framed the question that I think is on the minds of millions of Americans. Was this a bad episode or the sign of a more serious condition?
It was a bad episode. No indication of any serious condition. I was exhausted. I didn't listen to my instincts.
He's sounding so great and vigorous there because otherwise, well, his performance in office has been so good he was able to brag to George Stephanopoulos about his foreign policy prowess.
And the question on so many people's minds right now is, can you serve effectively for the next 4 years?
George, I'm the guy that put NATO together, the future. No one thought I could expand it. I'm the guy that shut Putin down. No one thought could happen.
What?
And again with the creepy whisper. Sorry, sir, you said you shut Putin down? Didn't Putin invade Ukraine and tie himself even more closely with China on your watch? To say nothing of the dumpster fire in the Middle East caused by your fecklessness? Seriously, what planet is this guy on? But anyway, Biden did press on and said he's drawing the big crowds that prove he's going to get over the line.
What's your plan to turn the campaign around?
You saw it today. How many people do you draw crowds like I drew today? You find me any more enthusiastic than today? Huh?
I mean, I don't think you want to play the crowd game. Donald Trump can draw big crowds.
Well, ain't that the truth? And this was, in fact, the size of Biden's big crowd at a campaign rally in Wisconsin earlier in the day. I swear, look at it. It looks like the Madison chapter of Friends of the ABC. But after showing up an hour late to that, Joe Biden then did manage to forget what year it was.
I'll beat Donald Trump. I will beat him again in 2020. Oh, by the way, we're going to do it again in 2024.
Well, yeah, nice cleanup there, and he showed his characteristic vigor. Anyway, now here's the important thing to understand about what's been going on for the past 2 weeks. It isn't just about the big truth of Joe Biden's mental state finally being revealed for all to see. No, the problem is a lot bigger, and there is still one massive question, again, no one is able to answer, because now we know the truth, what we all suspected all along, was correct. Joe Biden is simply in the midst of an irreversible physical and mental decline. He is not up to the job, and if he were a relative of yours or mine, we'd be having serious family discussions about what to do, not instead making him run for president again. In an absolute bombshell piece published 2 days ago, New York Magazine's Olivia Nuzzi said, "We have learned that the president's own supporters have been horrified seeing his inability to recall names, stay for events, and even just generally looking cadaverous at events." Within close Biden circles, too, it turns out the question remains, who is really running the country?